Hi, I'm Koen from PhoenixStarYT, and what you're looking at is my desktop. This is where I do most, if not all, of my day-to-day work. This is where I spend the vast majority of my time, unless I'm on some kind of other machine and I'm using Linux for my enthusiast projects, wow. Or I use macOS as my secondary productivity machine, right? So, this is where I spend the majority of my time in. And what I want to talk about is what I typically do on this box, on this machine, to get a bit of an idea of what kind of stuff I enjoy doing. Because I kind of feel like the PhoenixStarYT channel is a really good place for me to really do whatever I wish. This is kind of my safe spot, if you know what I mean. This is where I can play video games. This is where I can do editing streams. This is where I can do all kinds of crazy stuff. And I can just do this for fun. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing in this very video. I make this video just because I want to have a fun video on the channel, but also because I want to have a little bit of myself on the channel to give you a bit of an idea what I want to do, what I'm doing in my free time and other stuff like that. So, let's just get right into that right now. So the first thing that I probably should talk about in this video as to what I'm doing here every single day is my editing work. And editing is one of those things that I tend to do a lot, specifically on this particular machine that I'm on right now. So let me just show you a couple of things that I've been working on in the last little while. And this is just a little bit of a... I'll talk about this ginormous folder in a moment. But let's open Adobe Premiere real quick. And let's take a look at what a general project for Phantom Strider looks like, at least for me. So, first of all, Adobe Premiere Pro CC 2022. This is what I use for all of my editing work, for school assignments, for Phantom Strider, for Quentin reviews, and for PhoenixStarYT. This is where I do all of my editing, and this is the workspace that I built for it. I have all of the things that I need in a very nice place, exactly where I need it to be. So I have my bin right behind, or is it behind? No, it's barely behind my face. This is where I have all of my files living. Right beside that, we have the effects. We have the control effects. Wow. We have the effect controls right over here. And right here is my essential graphics. Now I have all of this side by side, so I have easy access to everything. I don't like everything stacked on top of each other into their own tabs. Like, I don't like everything being like this. Because it makes it a lot less difficult for me to access everything. I mean, yeah, I could very easily just keep everything stacked on top of each other and access everything that way. I would have to scroll all the way to that specific category. I would have to scroll to it. I already have essential graphics and essential sound stacked on top of each other, but that is because I don't typically use them all the time. I sometimes use the essential graphics for titles and stuff like that, and very, very rarely I even use the essential sound. I purely just have these up just in case I need them, but the bin and the effects and everything, I use that pretty much all the time. I always like to use video transitions, like these here. I have some presets set over here and everything. I have all that stuff set up, and I also tend to throw in a bunch of crap into my sequences, so it's nice to access my bins very easily over here. Having them stacked on top of each other adds another layer of stuff that I need to do. It adds a extra step that I personally don't think is necessary if I can just do it all like this. I'm fortunate enough to have a monitor that has the resolution for me to even be able to do this. So I'm very happy about that, and I'm happy that I can even have this set up. Were this be a much lower resolution screen, that would have been a much more of a challenge. But of course, it's always possible to just snap these windows outside of here and I can just have them float. Which, as you can probably tell, I don't need to do because I can have everything in this one space. So that's what I do. Then underneath that is where I have my sequences and my preview window over here. However, the workspace is probably the least interesting of all of this. The most interesting stuff happens in the actual sequences. So the editing that I typically do for PhoenixStarYT and for Phantom Strider, both of which of course are very different from each other. It's not as crazy on Phantom Strider as it's going to be on the PhoenixStarYT channel, and I will show you guys what the PhoenixStarYT edits look like in a bit. But this is a fairly basic Phantom Strider video fully edited, or at least one segment fully edited. So what I have here is I got a bunch of colors into every single sequence, and I have different colors assigned to my stuff for every segment that I'm working on. I also have separate folders for those in case I need easy access to everything, so that I don't have everything put on top of each other into a single bin. It makes everything a whole lot easier to find, and it's also just a lot cleaner, to be honest. Same goes for the actual sequences, which I have labeled every single thing that I use. For example, for footage for theme parks, I have their all have their own color, which is in this case it's all purple. But for example, for ZNAP or Snap or whatever you want to pronounce that, they are all in rose, and the same goes for the images that I give their own colors as well. For example, Snap has magenta or mango, and Theme Park has forest colors. So that is just for the bins and everything. But on the actual sequence, if you have all of that stacked on top of each other into this, a completed sequence, you can see it's quite a colorful mess. And it might seem like a bit of a mess at first, though. It's not that much of a mess if you get to work with it, or if you're used to using this. I would highly recommend everybody, if you are serious about video editing, use a setup like this. Have every single thing be in their own layer so that it's a lot easier to work with. Have everything be their own color. Like, for example, you can see that I have a bunch of footage on here, which is all purple. The titles are pink-esque. Let's see what color this was again. Lavender. And everything else, of course, as I previously mentioned, is their own color as well. So I would highly recommend you use this setup if you are serious about editing. Often I would also have a bunch of stuff going on in the Phantom Strider edits, like I have Strider with a green screen, and the green screen Phantom Strider uses because it allows the editors to have a little bit more creative freedom with their edits. Were we just to use a regular old green screen on the screen, for one thing, it looks boring and it just doesn't add much to the actual video. I remember back in the days when Strider used to sit in a room just like what I'm doing right now. No green screen, nothing at all. He's just at his desk with his computer on, and he's just sitting there and talking to us, which is also a very fine way to do it, but it doesn't really allow for much diversity in the edits. So I'm actually quite glad that we get to work with a green screen. So I can put him to the side like this. I can put him over the top of footage and very easily cross that out. And we can put him in a bunch of different locations, as you can probably tell. So that is one very fun thing about Phantom Strider editing. Editing for Phantom Strider in general is honestly a really fun process. It's one of the most fun things that I ever got the pleasure of doing, and I don't say that often about a lot of stuff that I get to work with. I've worked with several other YouTubers before, but this is honestly the most fun that I've had editing for anybody. And that honestly doesn't really say a whole lot because I haven't been working with too many editors, too many YouTubers in my life. Phantom Strider was actually the third guy that I got into editing for. But it is still an incredible experience. But this is just a Phantom Strider project. Let's grab a project of my own right here. So it might take a little bit because there is a little more stuff in this project than there is in the Phantom Strider project. And the reason why you'll find out right now. And you probably can already tell there is a lot going on here. So what actually is going on? For one thing, I don't know what is going on with all of the colors and everything. Stuff is a little bit of a mess in this particular timeline, and that's probably because I had no idea what really was or would be consistent with this project. I'm just kind of doing whatever. There is a lot more layers to this than the Phantom Strider project. There's 9 of them, one of which I don't even use. And you can tell that there is a lot of green and there's a lot of stuff going on here. Over here is a random transition. Allow me to tell you exactly what is exactly going on here. By the way, spoilers for those of you who are interested in watching the Ponython premiere, which this is the Ponython premiere that I'm editing right here. And as you can probably tell, it is a lot that's going on. So, for one thing, I wanted to use a little bit of a different editing style than I normally use on for literally anything. I wanted to do a little more special to the video. I want to add a little more life to it. I have no idea how people are going to like this, if people are even going to like it, but I personally think it looks pretty neat so far. So basically what I got is I got a bunch of different graphics going on. I got some stock footage on the screen here. I have some blurriness to the footage there, some fade in thing. We have a custom transition there. We have a custom transition over here. A lot of transitions went into this, and a lot of this is custom transitions. And I think it's going to look pretty dang neat. If you are interested in what this is going to be, you would have to check that out, this video out once it comes out. I will be posting updates on the PhoenixStarYT Twitter at PhoenixStarYT. Link will be in the description down below, and you can check it out for yourself and follow me on there and have a good time. So yeah, but yeah, a lot of custom transitions are going on in this one video, and the reason why is because, like I said, I want to add a little more to the video. I wanted to make it a little more interesting to look at, and I want the transitions to be a little more, I don't know, lifeful. That's exactly what I've been saying in the past 2 minutes or so since I've been talking about this one edit, but I really don't know how else to put this. But yeah, I think that this is so far looking pretty dang good. I only have a fair bit of the video done. It's nowhere near done though. I only got like 10 minutes done, and the voice clip that I'm using for this, 16 minutes and 55 seconds. That's nearly 17 minutes. So this video is going to be a long one, but it's going to be worth it. And I do not want to save the changes to that. One thing to note though about Phantom Strider, as you probably already noticed, is that the folders tend to be pretty dang big, especially for Lego videos. There is a lot going on in this one folder. He has a bunch of folders tucked inside of the folder. But then he also has a lot of files that he suggests the editors use for the project. I don't really want to dabble too much into it because there is a lot to go over there. But that is just to give you a basic idea of how editing for Phantom Strider works and how many things actually go into it. So there's that. Anyway, let's get into some of the other cool things that I wanted to talk about in this video. One of which being Virtualbox. Now, if you don't know, I really like to use virtual machines for testing and for playing older games that cannot be played inside of Windows 11. Because I am running Windows 11 to do the majority of my work, as you could probably already tell. Windows 11 is what I use because, for one thing, I'm really done with Windows 10. I hated everything about Windows 10. The design of it, the feel of it, how incredibly slow it is. Just Windows 10 does not compare to the actual speed of Windows 11. It's still not great. It's still not a great experience. For example, the optimization is horrendous still on Windows 10. It's still not great. Or Windows 11, sorry. The optimization is still far from great. But it's better than absolutely nothing at all. It is at least a little bit better than how it was on Windows 10. So, yeah. But sometimes you want to run programs that are much older than this. Sometimes you want to run software you used to run as a kid. Sometimes you want to play games you used to play as a kid. You know, and Windows 10 does not really work well with older games anymore. So what do? You just run a virtual machine for that exact purpose. You can easily create a virtual machine for Windows XP, throw the RAM up to 2 gigabytes, make the virtual machine, and there you go. You have a virtual machine set up. Of course, you still need to do a bunch of stuff with the system settings and everything, and you need to install the OS. But this is still a very nice way to get a virtual machine up and running. So Virtualbox is what I use for that. It's easy, it's free, and it's really good to use. It's also available for all operating systems, by the way, if you want to use it. So right now I have 2 systems in here. I got base Debian or vanilla Debian if you wish, and I also have Linux PSBWM. And the reason why I have the vanilla Arch and vanilla Debian is because I just wanted something to mess around with. I wanted to have a system that I could tinker with. I wanted to just have a system that I can play around with every once in a while inside of a virtual machine. I have laptops and desktops that I could use this on, but honestly, I prefer to test some stuff out first inside of a Virtualbox before I install it on real hardware. And another thing is I don't really have the means to actually get any of this stuff set up on real hardware. It's going to be a nightmare to set up what I got here inside of on a laptop of all things, for reasons that I won't get into in this video. But as you can probably tell, this is far from great. The top bar is completely jacked up. Some of the stuff does not even want to render properly, and there's a lot of other stuff that needs refining, and I have no idea how to do it inside of a virtual machine. It could very well be the virtual machine that is effing this up, but it doesn't really change the fact that this is not going to work very well if I want to use this particular setup inside of a real system. And shutdown scheduled in a minute, it seems. I don't know why it's taking a little bit to shut down, but let's do this a different way. Let's say shutdown signal, And there we go. It's shutting down the normal way now. So yeah, there we go. I also have Arch Linux BSPWM. I can't talk properly. I'm very sorry, guys. But I also have Arch Linux on here. And Arch Linux to me is a much more interesting system to work with. I really like using Arch Linux, and I know a fair few people also do. And this particular edition of Arch Linux is pretty similar to the one on Debian. It just has a different UI and everything. It's a little bit different, but it's still essentially the same kind of idea. It's a tiling window manager and whatnot. So we'll just let that boot up, and I'll show you exactly what it is. And Arch is finally up and running, for the most part. It still needs to run BSPWM, and there it is. So now I can actually interact with the system here. I can load up, if I figure out how to do it. There we go. We can run this, and then we can run one of these programs here, like Kitty, the terminal emulator. And then I can do all kinds of stuff inside of here. It's a fairly basic system, but it's it's a very cool one. I personally really like this. I also really appreciate the stuff that you can do inside of this this system. Arch Linux is honestly one of those things that I really enjoy, as you can probably tell. I also want to install a little tool over here that I can use to change the thing. Oh, that doesn't seem to work on here. Okay, pretty. That's fine. I don't really need it anyway. I just wanted to show you what this is. So let's just shut that down, and then we can continue with other stuff that people might be interested in. So that's it for virtual machines and video editing. But of course, what we also do on the PhoenixStarYT channel in particular is playing video games. I play video games every now and then. I like to play games just for fun. I don't really play any competitive games or whatever. I don't really play just to win. I have a bunch of games on here that that I just play for fun. Bejeweled 2, I primarily just have to chill out. I really like playing this game just so I can have a moment to chill and just have some silliness. The game's soundtrack is really good. I love it to bits. There is Among Us that I just play to frick around. If I want a game that I can play with a few friends of mine and just screw around in it, this is the game I play, because it's crazy, it's stupid, it doesn't make sense, and it's fun. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, another game I just play for fun. I only have like 15 minutes on it. I rarely even play it, but sometimes I like to play it. Cuphead, I play. One of my favorite games of all time. Please do play it. Doom, I got Fall Guys, I got a bunch of other games on here. And these are all very good games to play every once in a while. But of course, for me, the ultimate game to chill out with has to be the absolute king of indie titles, Minecraft. Now, what I've always enjoyed about this particular one, Minecraft has always been one of my favorite games of all time, and it probably always will be. The absolute creativity that you can put into it, the ginormous worlds you can explore, the things you can build, it's all very well done, and it's incredible that that a game like this exists. I really love it. It's one of my favorite games, if not my absolute favorite game of all time, for those exact reasons. And for whatever reason, the Minecraft launcher just does not want to operate. That's the crazy thing with this one. The Minecraft launcher, ever since it got updated to the Minecraft launcher got an update thanks to Microsoft, and they switched over to the Microsoft Store or Xbox app or whatever, and you need to install the Minecraft launcher from there if you even want to play the game. It's freaking stupid. I don't even understand who even came up with that idea, but people came up with that idea, and it sucks because it's a freaking nightmare. At one point, I literally could not play the game because the launcher was completely broken and it would not work. So it was wonderful. Great. Thanks for that, people at Microsoft, for ruining everything that we Minecrafters want. Thank you for ruining the Minecraft experience by making the game completely unplayable. So that's Minecraft. There's also Photoshop, of course, that I'm opening right now. There's not all that much to say about this one. This is Photoshop. It's a program where I make my thumbnails, and sometimes I just make random things for reasons. I still have oh, could not complete your request because the file could not be found. Okay, that is cool. I was not expecting the file to be completely lost, but I guess it is. But yeah, this is just a very basic thumbnail that I created with a wallpaper that I found on the internet with a title thrown on top of it. It's absolutely nothing special. I don't put in a lot of stuff into my thumbnails. I just take a bunch of elements, throw them on top of each other, and hope it looks somewhat good. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it just doesn't. Most often, it doesn't. But I try my best to make something out of it. But yeah, that is one thing that I typically use. Photoshop is great. I can make my thumbnails in it. It works. That's all there really is to be said about that. There are also programs like After Effects that I have on here. But this is really where I think a lot of magic happens. This is where... let me actually show you something real quick. For those of you who are new to the PhoenixStarYT channel, there is something that I would like to show you. So I have some puppet files over here. And I have all of them sorted in their own folder. I sort them by emotion that I have. And as you can probably tell, I have a lot of these. I got a lot of puppet files inside of here, and I wanted to show you how you can actually get one of these in your collection if you have a puppet of sorts, or if you want a puppet even. This particular one was made by Lightning Bliss, who makes incredible looking puppets for your heart's content. And I'm gonna show you how you can actually take the puppet and make your own emotions out of it. So let me find the puppet project file that I have somewhere in my commissions folder. It should be somewhere around here at the very least. There it is. .fla. It's an Adobe Flash file, but you can easily open it up in Adobe Animate if you so desire. You need to have at the very least Adobe Animate or Adobe Flash CS 5.5 if you're going to commission these from Lightning Bliss. They are about $45 for the base of the puppet. But this is generally what you would get if you are going to commission a pony puppet from Lightning Bliss. And what you would get is 40 frames of emotions and poses that you can choose from. As you can see, there is a lot going on with this puppet. There are a lot of poses that you can take. And there is a lot that you can do with these limbs, because you can move them all over the place, but you can also rotate them. So you can have them like this. You can have them point forwards. You can have him take out his wing like that. And then I can select this, hit F6, throw it over there. And I can rotate that a little bit backwards. And then I could also do the exact same thing with the other wing. So he flexes his wings and he can look very angry and stuff. It is amazing. It is absolutely one of the best things that I ever commissioned. And I love it. It's really great to have a puppet like that I can manipulate exactly the way that I want it. Oh, right. I also have this, by the way. This might be fun to check out. This is basically me. How does it look? Okay. Sorry, I just had to do that real quick. That was just a little thing that I wanted to do. It's stupid, I know. I don't know why I wanted to do that. That was just silly of me. But yeah, that's what I do. I also have a folder full of wolves and stuff, because I love wolves. Who doesn't love wolves? If you don't love wolves, then I will find you. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, if you didn't know already, I love wolves. So there you go. Why did I want to point that out? I don't know. I just wanted to show. I'm just looking for things to show you around here, so you have a bit of an understanding of what I got going on this system. I was looking for video ideas, and this is what I came up with. Okay, so that's it. That's literally the only reason why I got here. Also, Adobe Photoshop Cs2. In case you were wondering why I got that on my computer, if I still have Adobe Photoshop CC 2021, I believe it was. And I don't have any particular reason as to why I got it still on my computer. Perhaps for when my Creative Cloud license doesn't work anymore, I can always just get this to work, and I can always just use a backup. And CS2 is a very good backup. For those of you who are not familiar, Adobe Photoshop CS2, and to an extent literally every other Creative Suite program that Adobe had once upon a time, they are literally considered abandonware now. They are not that old programs to run, but they are considered abandonware, and you can easily download and install these programs for absolutely free and still have them working. If you are looking for a free version of Photoshop CS2 has you covered. You can freely download it online, and if you're running Windows, you can use it. Like, straight up. You can download, install it, and you can just use it. It doesn't use any compatibility layers or anything. It doesn't use any of that crap. You can just install it, and it'll work right out of the box. If you're running macOS, you might have a little bit of trouble running this particular program. Because there might be some things in regards to compatibility with macOS Monterey or Big Sur or whatever version of macOS you're going to use. Modern versions of macOS are probably not going to work, but maybe you can get around that somehow. But Adobe Photoshop CS2 is available. It's free, and you can download it from places like TechSpot, and you can just use the program however you please. Download it for either Windows or macOS, and you'll be good. I even managed at one point to run Photoshop CS2 in Linux, which is crazy. Actually, it's not crazy, because it's possible to run certain Windows programs inside of Linux with some configuration and shit with like that. So you can use it. Right now, CS2 seems to have some issues running, but you get the idea. You can download it and make use of it and have fun with it if you so desire. So there you go. But that's about it. That is a pretty basic idea of what I got going on my machine. I could show you some little things like C cleaner that I use to clean up my computer if I have some shit that I need to clean up. If my computer is full of a lot of stuff like register problems or whatever. If I need to clean some stuff up, this is where I do that. So let's just do that right now because I got it open anyway. Virus security or internet security, I use AVG for that. For media playing, I still use Windows Media Player. Wow. For media playing, for music, I still use Windows Media Player. I also use Spotify for my private music. This is where I have all of my YouTube music. I got a playlist for live streams that I use a lot during my live streams. These are a lot of the songs that I use on a frequent basis on the PhoenixStarYT channel and on other places that I use that. I should honestly switch over to the new media player that Microsoft has built for Windows 11. I don't know if this is also available on Windows 10 already, but it is available on Windows 11, and it looks great. I really like the look of this, and I should honestly use it for my media consumption. But until then, I still use Windows, the standard Windows Media Player, and I also have VLC installed on here for when I watch movies on like a DVD or whatever. Because yes, I still watch DVD. I still watch movies on DVD because I love the DVD format. I even have a Blu-ray drive in my computer so I can watch movies. Right now I don't know what movie I got in here. I got My Little Pony, the movie, in my computer, so I can watch that. I got a bunch of games installed on here. I got a bunch of stuff. So, also, by the way, while I got this open, I want to show you guys. I also have some ISOs on here, like Arch Linux. I got Linux Mint in here and a bunch of stuff like that. I got a bunch of crap on here. We could go on and on forever, but we're not gonna do that because it takes a long time to just go over everything. So there you go. That is my PC for the time being. I know this has been a ridiculously long video for so much unimportant crap to talk about. But I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what was going on my computer, because I just wanted to make a video for fun, just so you have something on the channel to enjoy, because I know that I've been lacking in content a lot and I just wanted to upload something. So here is that something for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like. You know how that stuff goes. I'm not gonna bother you too much with that crap. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day. And I hope I'll see you in the next video. I'm Koen from PhoenixStarYT signing out. Take care and stay passionate.